Dude, this is going to be great for the views, Adam. We're going to see Jay's going to get, the police are going to fucking come down and take him. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all good, man. Like, I'm just just being very concerned about your safety right now, bro. Boom, we finally here. Dean, what's going on, my dude?
Hey, Adam. I'm good, man. How are you? Thank you so much for having us on.
Good. No worries. And then we also have a special guest as well, Jay. That's like out in the middle of London.
I'm not in prison, honestly.
This is funny because Jay was on his way home from work. Jay's obviously working late. So it's like 11 p.m. over here. And as Jay was walking along, we could hear like the buses and the kind of. So where Jay's now found himself a quiet spot near a school.
Yeah, in such an odd place to like.
I'm not even lying. I'm sat outside of school. It's horrible.
Hop over the fence and get on the swings, man.
The worst thing is about it, I can hear a helicopter overhead, and I'm really now paranoid.
Oh no. Dude, this is going to be great for the views, Adam. We're going to see Jay's going to get, the police are going to fucking come down and take him. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all good, man. Like, I'm just just being very concerned about your safety right now, bro. Just make sure you just don't get, picked up by the police asking you questions. That's all.
Oh, Jay's a ninja. He'll be fine, man. He'll be fine.
Yeah. So, Dane, thanks for coming on, and thank you for sending me the link to your first horror film.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for taking the time out to watch it. Yeah, it's been like
it twice.
What's that?
I've watched it twice.
You watched it twice? What?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a 27-minute long short. So that's like almost an hour of your time you're giving up there, Adam. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
No, it's all good. If it's something that I really enjoyed watching, then I'll rewatch it again, just in case if I miss out on some little thing.
Yeah.
But like, tell us how all that came about, because that's your first short film horror film.
Yeah, it is. So I come from a music background. I'm a creative dude. So, I've been in music. Well, I was in the music game for many, many, many years. And then, with music comes, other sort of creative projects. I've always loved the idea of getting into filming and filming stuff. And, you have all the ideas about doing these things. But, one thing I learned along the way is you have to kind of meet people that are into this kind of thing as well and build a team, build like a crew, which is really, really, really important. But I guess I kind of dipped my toe in filming around the pandemic. It was kind of at the back end of the pandemic, which is weird saying that, man, that thing ever fucking happened in the first place. But so towards the back end, when the rules were relaxed ever so slightly and people could start mingling again, and everyone was going stir crazy. And I'd kind of written this little parody thing in my head that I wanted to film where we live, because we live in the middle of nowhere on a farm. So I had a friend of mine that was kind of getting into videography. I just got a bunch of friends in and we did this little skit called House of 1,000 Sauces, and it was basically it's on YouTube. It's crackers, and it's all these little skits of like it all themed around hot sauce. So at the time, all my sauces were named after horror films. So I had sauce, and so the little skit from that was this dude we filmed it in our shed, and he had this like saw trap on his head, and as the timer ticked, the fucking sauce came flying into his mouth. And then we had Parascoville activity, so we had a little skit where the bottle kind of moves along the table like a ghost. The exorcist. So basically we were having a bit of fun and we made this little skit. It's there for people to see. It's on YouTube. It's called House of 1,000 Sauces. Sorry, Rob Zombie. And then so we made that. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's going to be House of 1,000 Courses Part 2. House of 1,000 Sauces.
Yeah.
People just get. Yeah. So like we did that and it was a bit of a laugh, but I just totally got the bug, man. Like I really, really enjoyed it. It was so much fun putting it together and just everything, like the costumes and writing the scripts. And I was just like, man, this is so much fun. So from there, I had a go at making an anthology, like a horror anthology. And that is, you can see that. I think that's on Amazon. It's on Amazon, but you have to pay for it. I'm trying to figure out how people can watch it for free. Actually, it's on my YouTube channel. It's called Dean of the Dead's Holiday Horrors, and it's basically an anthology that I put together. But all I did was in that, apart from sort of cherry pick the shorts that I wanted to be involved, I just kind of wrote and shot the Wraparound Scene. And then we pieced in all these other shorts that other directors had shot. So that was kind of my next, step up from making House of a Thousand Sources to kind of putting together an anthology. And then I started making a couple of promos. And then I was like, do you know what? It's time to have a crack at making a short, writing it from scratch, starting, assembling a crew, bringing in some people that I knew who were actors, and just having a bash at it, man. And, Go to Hell was the finished product.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the movie because it kind of reminded me of like Evil Dead.
Oh wow,
Evil Dead meets Dawn of the Dead meets Beetlejuice.
I mean, 3 great films right there.
Yeah, but I could definitely see the Beetlejuice vibe in that movie for sure.
Well, the idea kind of started with like me and my partner were driving around, and I was just kind of, I always like to when I think, right, if I'm going to film something, I want to film something like an environment that I want to spend time in, So, for example, I love anything spooky and ghosty. So I was like, I'd love to film a seance scene. How cool would it be to have everyone around a table doing a seance? And I was like, that's all kind of been done before. And then my partner was like, how about if we kind of do this reverse seance idea, And then that's kind of where the idea sort of started. And then I just sort of ran with it. So, yeah, we kind of came around with the idea of, this guy being in hell and then him going back to Earth to, that kind of shit, basically. Yeah. So that's kind of where the idea started. But yeah, as soon as I come up with that idea, the first thing I thought of was this is kind of Beetlejuicy. That's a Beetlejuicy kind of idea. So I was just thinking like, color, let's get this. Let's make it very colorful. Let's add some humor. It's very British humor. But let's add some humor in there and just kind of make it sort of flex the comedy muscle more so than the gore muscle, which is something I want to do down the line. But it's still got the creepy elements in there, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely up there with the comedy horror, which is also my favorite as well.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like early Peter Jackson. So, I'd like to like explore more of that horror side of things, but really start chucking in some practical effects gore. I'd love to do that. I mean, it just, obviously it's a budget thing because when you start putting in effects that you want to sell on screen and make look realistic and good, it all costs money. So I can get an idea of like why people do these Kickstarters, and something that I've thought about doing, but I don't know if I can keep it all in-house. I'll try, but yeah, I'd love to start introducing. I'd love to do something. Well, in fact, I am about to do something very, very with Jay. Actually, Jay, who's right here. We're about to. We're doing going back to the Cannibal Corpse thing. We're filming a promo to go like hand in hand with the hot sauce. It's something like an idea that I pitched to them and they were up for it. So I was just like, man, let's do it. The band will share it. It's going to be fucking big. Loads of people will see it. It's just another thing we can add to the portfolio, like working with Cannibal Corpse on something gory. That's pretty cool. So
that is awesome. Yeah. So Jay, tell us a little bit about you, man. Let's get to know Jay here.
Also, I mean, can you hear me at the moment?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
I didn't know if it was still coming through or not. Weirdly, it's one of those things. I've always done acting from a very young age, but I was always drawn to horror stuff. It's always been my what I was. I grew up with my grandparents, and they were very much into the old school horror. So from a very young age, that was kind of normal. So it didn't really ever affect me, and I loved it. I was always intrigued by it, and it's always been something that I've been drawn to. Like in every sort of day aspects, even the job I'm doing at the moment, I work in escape rooms and we have horror rooms. It's always been a part of my life. It's so much fun.
That's awesome.
And sorry, go on.
I was just saying, no, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Oh, I thought So I was going to say, I was like, what? But yeah, it's always been something that I've been drawn to. And then when, oh God, about 14 years ago, I
Yeah.
decided to start doing scare mazes and horror acting and all that kind of stuff in theme parks.
Yeah.
And so for about 14 years, I've been doing that, like every Halloween, and even sometimes at things like Easter and Valentine's Day, so like for specials and Christmas. Um, so it's always been something that I've loved doing, and getting
Yeah.
to do that and express a character that isn't human is
Yeah.
always a bit exciting. It's different rather than like going on stage and saying, okay, today you're going to be Romeo. This is your character. It's a human character. You know, this is a human with human emotions. Where if you say to someone, go on stage and you're going to be a mutant or an alien, or you're going to be something undead, it does take time to get into it, and it makes you
Yeah.
feel a little bit uneasy. But then when you start doing it, it's the most unreal experience, and it's so rewarding when you get that reaction when people go, "Oh my god, this is scary," or "That
Yeah.
was such a good character. It looked like it was meant to,"
Yeah.
which kind of led me into doing special effects makeup as well. So
Oh, that's awesome.
I learned that
Yeah.
over lockdown and COVID, and I got bored and went, "What can I do with myself?" And I started just YouTubing how to make prosthetics and how to make costumes and how to make makeup and how to do horror stuff. And from that, I started doing everything myself.
Yeah.
Um, and that's led to some quite exciting things. And yeah,
And Jay's
that's
done some
pretty
of the
much.
makeup in the film as well, like with the
Oh,
trash
nice.
punks in the scene where you see them in the reception, the little reception at the beginning, which is kind of a massive nod to Beetlejuice. And you see the two punks. You got the little kid that runs past with a razor blade, and then you see the two trash punks. That's Jay and our friend Nathan. And Jay completely created those looks, you know, that we wanted something that was kind of very kind of Return of the Living Dead style punk kind of thing. And then Jay and Nathan choreographed the scene where they're having the fist fight in the street outside the bar and the bin. Like, I think you actually slammed that bin over Nathan's back, like God knows how many times, man. We had to
Yeah.
keep holding the bin back out, and Nathan was like, and he was loving it. He's so sadistic. He's like, more smash, like folding the bin out, more smash, literally over and over again.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
I think the bin was flat by the end of it.
It literally was flat like that. This
It was
aluminium bin.
pancakes.
Yeah, it was. It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it was fun for me. I was watching it from afar.
Well, the effects, man, looks like it was done by like a really high budget.
I
Like,
mean, we were so lucky because everybody that worked, like all the actors, the cinematographer Kamal, he was going to join us tonight, but he's got to be up super early. You know, he's been in filming for like 25 years, so he knows his shit.
oh wow.
He edited the whole project, and it was the first thing I'd ever worked on with him. But he was great. Like, he was really kind of helping me. He directs his own films as well, so he was like showing me the ropes where directing's. You know, if he could see I was struggling with something, he'd kind of, you know, pull me to one side and give me some sort of pearls of wisdom. So that, you know, but he was great. You know, didn't make me feel uncomfortable or anything at any point. The cast were all fantastic. Everybody brought their talents to the table. Kate, who did the makeup, again, was brilliant. You know, it was just a lot of friends and people that we knew that we kind of brought together, you know, who are in that horror scene. And, you know, it looks like the production value's through the roof, but it was done on a shoestring, honestly. Like the locations where you see all the fire and all the dancers and stuff, you know, that was a screen park. Do you guys get them in Australia? Do you get like Halloween haunts? I don't know what you might call them, something different.
Man, Halloween in Australia, it's not as popular than anything that's, you know, around the world. But like, you still see, I fucking dress up as well. But like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, but you still see kids and people decorate their houses up on Halloween and stuff. But it's not as like
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
popular like in the States or in the UK or just anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the UK is really catching up with this with the States, to be fair, because I feel like, you know, Halloween haunts, as they call them in the US, haunts, and over here we call them scream parks or scare mazes. But it's massive over here now. Like it's really big business, and there's more and more cropping up every year, and it's great to see, you know, because we love them. I love them. I live for that shit. You know, every year I map out my roadmap of where I'm going to be traveling to, ones that I haven't been to. I love it.
Yeah.
It's that immersive horror experience. It's like stepping into the films, you know. That's what I love about it, and all the creativity behind it. But basically, I'd work with a lot of these screen parks through the hot sauce. I'd made merchandise for their parks to sell over Halloween, and that's how I got to know them. And then I was like, hey, do you mind if we come and film some stuff in your screen park? And they were just like, yeah, sure. So all those wonderful sets that you see were all designed by the screen park. We were just there, like, brought in our actors, brought in our crew, set up our lights, and put a few props in place, and off we went. And it looked like we had a proper fucking film set, man. Do you know what I mean? We were very lucky.
It was like, it was just pre-built for us. It was amazing.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, we had to kind of pick which areas we wanted to use carefully, but I mean, it wasn't that hard. Everywhere looked so cool. I was like, this like totally looks like a reception area, like a grimy, grotty reception area. So we just kind of put a few signs around, and, you know, just, yeah, I don't know. We were really lucky. We filmed it a few different locations. So the majority of it was filmed at a place called Tully's Shocktoberfest, which is a big screen park here in the UK, massive. And then there was another place called Walsall Scare Maze, which is near Birmingham, which is where Jay, you've worked there before, right? I think.
Just where I am right now, yeah.
Right now, Jay's there right now.
He's out of the school area now.
He's out of school area. So that's where we filmed.
I've moved.
That's where we filmed the
scene. Helicopter overhead. I was scared.
They got you in there. So as soon as you see a little red laser beam come down and on your t-shirt,
like, oh no, I need to run.
It was a triangle. The fucking predators following you. So the scene with the vampires with the seance scene, that was filmed at Walsall Scare Maze, which is where Jay's near right now, and then the rest of it was filmed here at my house. We filmed the rest here. So yeah, man, and I'm really pleased with the way it's come together, because I feel when you put shorts out into the world for people to watch, like, sometimes they can be a bit clunky, but this one's been really well received, and it's like, okay, perhaps we are pretty good at doing this sort of thing. Maybe we should make something else. But
yeah, well, I think you're like the third short film director that I've had on this podcast. And dude, I have so much respect for those people that can write a short script for like a maybe 15-20 minute like film. How do you do that? Like, how do you come up with like such like a short story for like
it's really, I don't know, man.
Movie?
Well, like, because I mean, as well, like the script for that was so ambitious, and everybody that read it was like, dude, are you sure you don't just want to make this into a feature? And I was like, no, I'm determined to make a short, you know, and it is a long short. It clocks in at 27 minutes. So it is a long short, but there's so much world building going on. And I was just like, I'm having fun. Let's just keep it going. You know, so 27 minutes, technically still a short. There is a 20-minute cut that we did for a couple of film festivals that we've entered over here. And that was hard to do, man, because you're so attached to the source material. Like, it was hard enough. I mean, if I'd have kept in everything I wanted to keep in, it probably would have been feature length, but it wasn't written as a feature. It was, you know, it's too comical. I would have done it a lot darker, and I would have done things differently if it were a feature. So I was determined to make it a short. But yeah, there is a shorter version. There's a 20-minute version, and I don't know, man. I just kind of threw everything into the mix, and then just sort of cut it back as we went, and just made sure that the important parts of the story were there, and made sure that nobody kind of overstayed their welcome in each scene, just to kind of keep it interesting for the viewer. Because that's one thing that I think when I'm watching other people's work sometimes, and like you get a new respect for other people, like directors and stuff, but sometimes I'm watching it thinking, why did they keep this bit in, man? This bit's dragging. Why did they keep? So I think, you know, if you've got a good eye for shit, you know, even with your own work, you can be like, we need to switch this up now because I'm getting bored of my own work. So do you know what I mean?
I mean, you're usually quite overcritical of your own work, and that's where the really critical eye comes in. and I think it worked in your favor that you had people who were who've done stuff before,
Yeah,
who could give you that guidance and tell you,
Yeah.
no, actually, this is what you need to keep in, this is what you need to cut shorter, and give
yeah.
you
Well,
that guidance.
Kemal put together the edit. I mean, we kind of did a rough edit, but then obviously it was way too long. So we're just like, because that's what you do. You film a load of stuff, you love all of it, and all of a sudden you've got like, way too much footage. It's like writing an article, and you know, it's something that you're really passionate about, and you write 2,000 words, and you've only got 250. You've got to condense that down to for that. That's all the space you've got. So it's the same kind of thing. You know, you just sort of have to cut the fat and trim it right back. And there's stuff in there that I really didn't want to lose. So like right at the very end, we filmed some like a you know, the beginning scene where the camera's kind of following the house through the house and outside through the house. So we kind of mirrored that at the end. So it's doing the same, but the house is all messy and fucked up, and there's like smears on the wall and stuff. So it kind of B's like a bookend, and then it goes to the shed. It explains a little bit more about what the main character was getting up to, and then you see the main character wrapped up in cellophane under the stairs, and then you see some. Do you know what I mean? There was stuff, and also there's a news report that reads out over the top of it, over the visuals.
Yeah.
And it makes it really eerie, but we just had to cut it, man. We just didn't have enough time. We thought the story doesn't need it. So we're just going to lose it. And I'm just like, but I really like it. So, you know, maybe an extended version, it will reappear. But that's the kind of thing, you just have to be brutal with shit like that.
And even us in the cast don't know what was in that shed.
I still don't.
Well, it's kind of like making writing out a feature film script too, because sometimes like it gets off to a good start and then it slowly builds up, and then like the last 45 minutes of the movie it just goes downhill. Like it kind of just loses its chemistry a bit.
Yeah, so many films do that.
I can imagine that would be a little bit more difficult to do than writing a short film though.
Yeah, because I mean, you can skip over a lot. You know, that's the thing. If you're writing a feature, you've got all that time to fill, and it's just literally it's a blank canvas. So it's down to you, really, what you fill it with. Is it going to be interesting stuff, or is it going to be meandering bullshit that nobody really cares about? So I don't know. I don't know, man. That's something that I'm yet to tackle, and I feel like I'll be all right here because, as I say, my short film ideas are super ambitious. So I feel like my feature film ideas are going to be like massively ambitious. But although I always think, you know, I know what my budget is, and you know, you can't write Star Wars on a shoestring budget, man. You have to kind of be realistic. Yeah.
Yeah. You've seen the last trilogy. I'm pretty sure they did that.
Yeah.
What do you think? They start off midway of the fucking saga. You know,
right in the middle.
Right in the middle, and then waited to like we had better technology to do episode 1, 2, 3 and stuff like that.
God,
this is actually Dean's motive. He's starting in the middle. We're going to get a prequel and a sequel to this. This is what's happening.
Well, do you know what? I actually think it will work really well as like a series. You could totally like it's like 27 minutes long. That's a good pilot episode length. You know, you could do a series. You could, you know, it could definitely be something that could be shot. So yeah. Who knows, man? You know, because so many people are like, oh, there's so many questions. You know, what did he do, and what happens next, and blah blah blah. And I want to know more about this character, which is great that people are saying that. They're picking up on all these characters. Everybody seems to have a different favorite character in it as well. So you know, it's good. You know, I'm really glad that we managed to do that world building and kind of bring all these wacky characters to life, literally on a shoestring budget, man. So,
and you made it work.
Yeah, God knows how.
Yeah, it's like
no, I do know how. All the talent that we had in it, that's how. Yeah.
Well, it's like what I was saying to the first short film director that I had on my podcast a while ago, Taylor B. She sent me her the link to her short film. It only goes for 12 minutes, called The Baby, and cool. I watched it and I messaged her. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell? I was like, how did you come up with all this in 12 minutes? Like,
wow, yeah.
There's so much going on in 12 minutes. Like, it's impressive. Then I had another actress director as well on my podcast as well. She did a short film called Are You There? It's like a crossover of Evil Dead meets The
Ooh.
Conjuring.
Oh my god, that
And
sounds incredible.
it's fucking awesome.
That's
Yeah.
good.
And she's amazing as well.
I need
And
to see that.
and the impressive part as well was she was the writer, the director, the actress, and she played the monster and did the
Wow.
sound
Wow.
effects. So full credit to that woman right there, man. Jack,
Yeah, I'd say so, dude. I really want to see this. Is it
That,
available for streaming?
that's
I
covering
think
your
it's
own bases, isn't it?
still. I think
Hmm.
it's still doing like its theater run. I think
A
it's
festival
still
circuit, yeah.
festival run. I think
Oh wow, that
October,
sounds great
something
though.
like that.
Mm.
But now credit to her, man. She's amazing what she does, and
Yeah.
it's to do all that too, man. And with just like a small budget to pull something
Yeah.
that off and coming up with everything, especially with the effects, is fucking amazing.
It's such an accomplishment as well. And it's the thing, like I was always kind of in my youth, I was always guilty of like never seeing projects through. And it's only really when I got older and I was like, oh, come on, man, let's just get some stuff, and it's such an accomplishment when you do see a project like that through, and then you get respect for other filmmakers because you know how much work is involved. And, I mean, I've spoken to filmmakers as well that have made stuff and they're like, oh man, it's too stressful, not for me. But I don't know. I love it. Like, I absolutely love the whole process from A to Z. There's nothing about the process. The only one thing that I find tricky, and this just applies to life in general, is trying to get a big group of people to be available on the same day at the same time.
Yeah, that's
the hard bit. Other than that, it's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's
And
just the
the cool thing-
logistical stuff.
There's nothing
I
worse
really-
than trying to wrangle a load of actors.
Oh no. I really
It's-
love the death metal logo as well.
Yeah, man.
Gothel.
Well, do you know what?
We love Gothel.
Gothel, yeah. Basically, it was designed by, oh man, what's his name? Gorgasmic.
Yeah.
And I found some of his art somewhere, and he did a T-shirt design for me once. So I was like, I asked him to do originally it was just going to be a teaser poster. So the actual poster was going to be designed by Uncle Frank, who he designed the Terrifier 3 poster, the one that everyone was going crazy about. Yeah, so I know Uncle Frank's a friend of mine. His real name's Ireland, and Mariam, his wife, she actually does the voice of at the beginning when they're in the waiting room and she's like, now serving number 3, blah blah blah. That's Mariam, that's Uncle Frank's missus. So basically she's in the film as a voice, and he was going to do the final poster for us, but time was ticking and funds were running low or non-existent, so we just ended up going with that death metal vibe poster.
Yeah.
And I think it really works, man, because it's so minimal, but it looks really cool at the same time, So I just thought, no, it works. It really works.
Yeah. It does. I wasn't really it's almost like watching a death metal video clip, music video clip.
Yeah, well, I'd say that, man. That's a compliment. Yeah, I love it. Well, our next project is for Cannibal Corpse, so I mean,
Yeah.
we're doing a
absolutely.
promo. So I mean, that's good. At least we know how to get that death metal aesthetic down.
That'll be
Yeah.
exciting to do.
Yeah, it will. Yeah. This is the go to hell. I got to flex my comedy muscle. This is where I'm going to get to flex my gore muscle, and see.
Oh, yeah, I think the thing that sold me when you posted it was there will be blood, and I'm like, yep, sign me up.
There will be blood. Oh
There
yes,
will be blood.
there will be blood.
Get me in there.
Tell us a little bit about your podcast too, man. I've watched a couple of episodes on YouTube, and my favorite one was probably like Laura Rivera.
Oh God, yeah, I was late to that one. I was on my way back from hang on. Yeah, I think I was at Tully's, which is where we filmed some of the stuff for the film, but like way before we filmed it. But yeah, I remember I was on my way back and I made that podcast chat like late. I was like, I just showed up late.
Yeah.
You got this big star from like Terrifier, and I'm just like, hey guys, sorry, I was literally fashionably late, like half an hour into it. I'm just like, hey guys, sorry, I was just stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
So yeah, that podcast So I started out doing a Dean of the Dead podcast, and oh man, I just see the props to you, Adam, because for keeping up the consistency, man. Because I just couldn't keep. It's the consistency, right? It's like keeping doing it all the time. So I think I put out 3 episodes in a year. But they're pretty good episodes. So if you ever get around and you want to check them out, it's just called the Dean of the Dead Horror Podcast. They're up there on Spotify somewhere. But for the first one, I interviewed a guy from the film Society. Do you remember Society?
Yeah.
Name.
I've heard.
Yeah, the Brian Usner film. So I interviewed one of the guys. He's a main character in it. He gets shunted. Then I interviewed the second one. I interviewed Bob Elmore, who sadly recently passed away. He played Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2.
Yes, very underrated.
Really, yeah, great film, and what a lovely guy as well. God rest his soul. He was lovely. And funny enough, I saw him this year at a convention. And then the third guest I had on was Russ Striner from Night of the Living Dead. And he was like George Romero's right-hand man. So he's the guy that did They're Coming to Get You, Barbara. That's Russ Striner, Johnny from Night of the Living Dead. So we had him on, and boy, he can chat, man. And it's up there for people to listen to. And it's really good because he starts it with, "This is Russ Striner from Night of the Living Dead. You're listening to the Dean of the Dead podcast. And just remember, they're coming to get you, Barbara." And I was like, fuck yeah, man. That's gold.
I love that.
That's gold. That's gold, dude. Because that line is just legendary in horror land, But basically, they were I did a couple more. I interviewed the Bride in Black from Insidious. I interviewed, Ryan Kruger, who did Street Trash recently. And then and I interviewed a couple of the Cenobites from Hellraiser, the Chatterer. But these episodes, they're all sitting there. I never released them, man. I just never got around to doing it. So then I started that podcast with Lauren Levera. That was called the Baron's Hideout podcast. So that was a friend of mine, Dustin. That's the dude spoke to you about earlier on, who I went over to America and hung out in Salem with. That was his baby. That was his vehicle. And I just...
Oh, cool.
I replaced another host, and then I basically just got involved in the podcast. And then my time just became I just couldn't manage the time, man. I was sort of ducking out of chats. And so, yeah, my podcasting, as far as kind of making podcasts and creating them and putting them out there, is kind of on the back burner for the minute. But I definitely want to do it again because I love it. It's good fun.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, what you could look at is with this film coming out, is it's surging popularity. It's going to get your name out there. Those podcasts could then be released.
Oh, for sure.
Could actually do 100%.
Well, I've actually got an idea of something that I'm working on. We've got an outhouse out there, and basically, I'm gutting it. I'm taking everything out, and I'm going to turn it into like a little studio. And I'm going to do like a weekly horror podcast thing where we just review loads of shit and go out and about. And I'm going to call it the Dead Shed. So that's that. I'm going to get back into doing it. I've got an idea.
That's what was in the shed this whole time.
Yeah, it ties into the movie, The Dead Shed.
There we go.
No, what's this space? The Dead Shed, man. Yeah, no, it's going to be cool. I've got some cool ideas for it. But
yeah.
So yeah, but it's just all about having time, isn't it, man? Just making sure you can, keep up with this consistency is key. I think with things like that, and quality as well.
I think that's the problem with new podcasters these days now. Most of them only last for a couple of episodes, and you don't really see them anymore because they're just running out of shit to do.
Yeah, so you don't get a chance to get into them. I thought it's like a series. You need to listen to 3 or 4 episodes and then really think, do I like this person's vibe or style, or
It's hard work.
Yeah, no, of course. Of course.
I think it's that whole thing as well. I mean, I've not done a podcast before. It's not. I mean, I'm in the age of talking to people face to face. It's not my vibe. I'm nearly fucking 40, so it's not my thing. But
you're not nearly 40, are you?
I am. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that, Jay.
I thought you were 25.
Yeah. I thought you was way younger.
No, like me, man. Thank you, though. Thanks.
18 with tattoos.
And that's what it is. It's the tattoos. That's what makes it. But I think if people starting new podcasts, if they're not getting that hit straight away, where they're getting that response and they're getting that audience and they're getting that feedback, it's sort of dejected and they start to go, oh, maybe it's not for me. And I think that's why a lot of them fail. And I think,
Yeah.
I mean, kudos to yourself. You've stuck through it, and you're here, and you have got this successful podcast. But it takes time. It takes graft. I mean, I know a lot of people here who've just gone, oh yeah, I'm going to start a podcast on this. It's like, great, perfect. And they've done about 4 or 5 episodes. They've gone, I'm not getting the response. It's dying. It's quiet. It's like, you just need to keep going. Get through that quiet spot and keep going, because if that consistency is what you need. And I think a lot of people fail at that consistency thing.
And then also,
and
when people finally do discover you, then they've also got all of this back catalogue of stuff to go back and listen to.
100%.
You know, it's like you might get into Metallica during the Black Album, but fuck, dude, you got all those cool albums to go back and revisit.
You know, those type of people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like
consistency is key, definitely.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine. He's a podcaster as well on here, and because I like to interview other podcasts as well, because I always just find it's a good way to support each other in his community to get
absolutely
stuff out. And and at the time, I think I was only up to episode 15 or something, or whatever. I think I can't remember, but then he was just like saying, "It's interesting because like most new podcasters only last to 12 episodes, and you don't hear from them anymore." And he's just like, "What you're doing right now is really good." Yeah, I would like to have more subscribers. Like I'm at 106 subscribers right now. I'm happy with that, man. I didn't give a shit.
Dude, and that's gonna grow and grow and grow.
Yeah, and I maybe don't have the highest views for some episodes, but maybe the highest views that I had on my podcast was I think it was Sam Ben Colton from Faster Pussycat. I had him on just to talk about music and horror movies, and yeah, people loved it. But you just have to, like what you were saying, you just got to stick with it. And if it's something that you enjoy doing, man,
definitely
keep going. You're gonna fail in life. That's how it is.
100%, man. You get to meet people as well, and you never know where that's going to lead, dude. You know, you never know where the next person you talk to, you might introduce you to so and so, and before you know it, you're doing all sorts. Do you know what I mean? It's just, and also, you know, I really appreciate podcasters because they give up their time to do things like this, to watch our material. And just all for the love and for the passion. You know, it's all for the love and for the passion. And, you know, you've got to commend that. I think that's great. The people give up their time just to do it for the love, you know. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
We've got
from
support it all.
I have like a busy life as well. Like I'm a chef.
You got to go to work this morning, man. Are you a chef?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Cool.
And, you know, and I'm trying to at least trying to make times with my friends and family and then do this at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, man. Chefing's a tough job as well, dude. Yeah. I bet. Is it a busy kitchen you work in? Like, is it a... It's
steady. It's steady. But I'm like the non-alcoholic one there. So like being a chef, being an alcohol-free person in the kitchen is very weird.
Dude, I've got some friends who are chefs and they are not anything free. They are. Yeah. I don't know how to do it. Like, no, oh God,
My other half's a chef, so I know exactly what you mean.
It's tough work, but close to 16 years now.
Oh wow!
Slowly,
we're coming around yours for dinner, dude.
Just come to my place. I'll cook you up a feed.
I was gonna say we're coming over for yours for tea, dude.
Let's hop over. Let's go now.
Yeah, it's all good, man. Like I'll pay for your flight. It's all good. I've got recliners, big TV. We could just watch movies, dude. It's all good, man.
Oh, my mum lived in Australia for 10 years. She's got a dual passport actually.
I remember you saying that to me.
Yeah, she lived in Perth, so probably a million miles from where you are, because I know how big this huge country. Perth is like the most isolated city in the world, but she was there for like 10 years. I used to go and visit. Right. I used to go and visit. I did a lot of traveling around out there. Yeah, I loved it, man. I loved it. I loved the beer. People were fun. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I'm in Wollongong, so it's like a bit of a small town. But
is that New South Wales?
Yep. Yeah, so I'm like about an hour and 20 minutes away from the city, from Sydney. so it's not too far away.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like
That's probably
it's a
like
small
me
thing.
here in London. I'm probably about an hour away and a bit from London. So yeah, I guess same kind of thing.
You get
Yeah,
heaps
same
of
for me,
tourists
really.
coming around during Christmas and stuff like that, and during the holiday season. But other than that, it's a nice little area, man. Where I am living now for the past 5 years, man. Close to the beach, close to the cafe, close to the gym, close to everything. So I
Perfect.
don't have to like fucking drive around or anything, man. It's just walking distance, dude. So it's
Sounds lovely.
amazing.
Sounds great. That sounds
Yeah.
great.
So let's get into horror movies. So Jay, you say you started watching horror at such a young age. That got you
Yes, I
into
did.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, what was the first horror movie that got you into it?
Weirdly, the very first thing that I ever watched was Hellraiser.
Ah, nice.
So
Great.
like the original Hellraiser series. So I got into them, and I sort of kind of followed the series from there. But it was very much like the old like Hammer House of Horror kind of stuff, and Night of the Living Dead, all that like old school kind of stuff that I used to watch. I think the very first one that I don't get scared by stuff quite a lot. I think when you work as a scary thing in the dark, you learn not to be scared of the dark, or that
No, it
because you
grows
are
on
the
you though.
scariest thing in the dark. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what to
Um,
expect.
However, I was at work yesterday and the front doors just opened randomly on their own, and I was like, nope,
Oh
I'm
no.
out. See you later.
Get out of there, dude.
It's an old building as well, and I was like,
Oh, I'll be gone.
oh, hello. No one's here. Right, okay, I'll get my Red Bull and I'll leave. Cheers. Like, the building's yours now. You can have it.
Bye.
Like, yeah, it's yours now. But I think the first film that weirdly ever really creeped me out, and it freaked me out for a good period of time, was the Japanese version of The Grudge.
Great.
A lot of people would say that too. Yeah,
Super.
I've only
Super
seen
I
the
great.
don't know
American.
why. I can't explain. But something about it just freaked me. The American version, I laughed at. It was like, oh, okay, great, perfect. But
Yeah,
the Japanese version, I don't know why. Something about it just proper threw me.
It's just very dark and evil, isn't it?
It's yeah, but it's not done in a way that is very much like horror films today, where there's a suspense and there's a music build up. It's just there. I
Yeah.
think the
Yeah.
bit I remember vividly, the bit that really freaked me out. I think she's laid down in the bed, and she opens her eyes, and then the creature, the spirit's right above her, and it's just coming down.
Oh God. I'm gonna have to go. I thought I had the window open for a minute there. I was like, shit, dude, I need to go shut the window.
Wow, it's
my doors are
behind you.
closed, bro.
It's all right. I'm stood outside a random flat, and I don't know whose it is, but it's got good light, so I'm stood here.
Jay's giving us a detour around London.
Oh, where are you in Walsall? You're in Walsall, aren't you?
I'm in Birmingham, yeah. Birmingham, yeah.
Birmingham, all right.
Nice.
I'll be there on the weekend, man. I'll be there at the weekend.
I am. What am I doing at the weekend? I'm doing something.
We're doing a radio show. I'm on a radio show, and then I'm going to meet Ozzy Osbourne.
I bumped into him about 2 days ago.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Ah,
Yeah, he was going
No way.
into Vivid Ink in Birmingham to get a tattoo, and I was walking,
Oh,
and I saw
wow.
a load of people in suits, and this person, bless him, is walking with a cane now, like, and he's
Yeah.
just hunched over, and I didn't recognise, and I was just walking with my headphones on, bopping away, and I saw these people in black suits, like, well, that's a lot of people in black suits, what's that? And then, like, huddled in the middle of them was Ozzy going into one of the tattoo shops.
Oh wow,
I was
that's
like,
cool.
oh my god, that was Ozzy Osbourne. And then I nearly walked into a car.
but it was worth it.
It was fully worth it.
I'm meeting all
Dude,
of them
if
at the
you- dude.
weekend.
Well, dude, if you got hit by a car, at least it will be like a good excuse what happened because like you just saw the fucking Prince of
I
Darkness.
mean,
for fuck's
I'd
sake.
love to say, I'd love to say that, but it wouldn't be the first time I've been hit by a car. So
Oh shit.
I'm meeting all of them at the weekend. I'm meeting Ozzy, Sharon, Jack, and Kelly.
oh nice.
I've got this because we're working there, but I've got this. They're doing this 666 package thing, and I was just like, you know what, I've got to go for it, man, because you don't know how much longer Ozzy's going to be around for. I'd love
No.
to, you got to meet the Prince of Darkness. You know, you have to meet him.
They'll clone him at some point.
Yeah. I want to try and get. I want to try and get close enough to him so when he speaks, he spits on my cheek and then fucking DNA and. Yeah.
I mean, you could even like just push it and go, "Here, how about a Black Sabbath hot sauce?" There we go.
Just sort of dunk it in a beer and the beer will like, that's great.
Your next horror film.
There you go. That's it. Just the rebirth of Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm here for that, man.
We can get into Ozzy later on because like that farewell reunion concert thing that they did a couple of days ago was fucking amazing. But we'll get into that very soon. We still got time. We can hang out for like another maybe 15-20 minutes or so.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
How did you get into horror, Dean? Like, how old were you when you got into it? And
from a really young age, my stepdad, he co-run a video store, like a VHS video store. I'm 45, so I was born in 79. I was born in the 70s, man. That's terrifying. That's so weird when I say that. I was born in the 70s. That's fucking nuts, isn't it?
85 here.
Oh yeah, in the 80s. Yeah, I love the 80s, man. I love the 80s. 80s horror is my favorite. But yeah, I just remember like, because obviously as kids we'd spend a lot of time in the video store waiting for him to sort of knock off his shift, and we'd just be walking around, like me and my stepbrother, my sister and that, and we'd just be, you know, looking at all the cases and the artwork on the cases, and in particular it was the horror section that just fascinated me, and in particular a lot of work by an artist called Graham Humphreys, who's actually now become a really good friend of ours, but he did stuff like this, you know.
Oh, that is so rad.
He did this. He did the original Evil Deads. He did the original Nightmare on Elm Street. He's done so much stuff. If you Google his name, you'll see all his artwork, and you know you'll be like, "Oh God, yeah, he's done some fucking great stuff." But it was, as a kid, it was his stuff. I don't know. I was just fascinated by the artwork. You know, you pick up the boxes and what's this all about, and flip them over, and then there's this woman with her head exploding, and this bug, and this kind of, you know, monster. And I don't know. I was just fascinated, absolutely fascinated. And in particular, it was Freddy Krueger and Nightmare on Elm Street. You know, it terrified me and fascinated me, you know, all at the same time. And I was obsessed, absolutely obsessed. I had a Freddy Krueger club in primary school. I used to go on and on about, I was obsessed with wanting to watch the film, but my mum wouldn't let me. And I was just upset. I just wanted to watch these films, even though I knew they were going to terrify me. And I used to go and stay with my grandparents a lot. And we'd go to the video shop down the road. And then they'd say, "Oh, what films do you want?" And I'm picking out like Dream Master and all this kind of stuff. My granddad's like, "Are you sure this is all right with your mum?" "Yeah, it's fine, it's fine." So I'm just sitting at my grandparents' house watching. That's really weird because they didn't have a fucking clue. So I'm just sitting there at my grandparents' house with like stacks of, you know, 80s horror, Freddy Krueger. I was like 6 or something, 7. I don't know. I was tiny. I was a small kid. But yeah, I was absolutely fascinated with it. And you know, horror is my happy place, you know, throughout my whole life. Horror has always been the sort of where I turn to, you know, whatever mood I'm in, you know, it's always there for me. I know that sounds really corny, but I don't know, do you know what I mean? Horror's never let me down, ever. It's never let me down. So yeah, I just love it. I love the genre. I love everything about it.
Yeah. It grows on people when you get younger as well too, man.
Yeah, definitely. I just love it. I just, you know, old horror, new horror, you know, I love seeing the direction that where horror's going in. But, you know, like now, you know, the immersive side of things, like Scream Parks where Jay works, even down to like horror gaming, which is now I think is probably the scariest form of horror. You know, you stick in a pair of headphones, immerse yourself in those games, and the jump scares are just insane. The graphics are insane.
Are you a gamer, Dean?
Not as much as I want to be. It's a time thing, to be honest. But like every time I pick at the minute, I'm probably a quarter of the way through Resident Evil Village, and it's insane. Like it's so good. It's so damn good.
They rebooted like the first 2 or whatever it was.
Yeah, they're releasing a new one now, which is going back to Raccoon City, especially the police department one.
Oh God, I'm here for it. There's so many games that I need to catch up on. It's just I don't have the time, man. But I will at some point. Maybe just put in my schedule. This is your gaming time. Because I love it. I do love it when I'm into it. I'm really into it. My son comes and stays with me. He loves gaming as well. So yeah, I think maybe I need to do a father-son horror gaming night and get back into it.
Yeah, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre was really good. I'm not too sure what happened to that game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no,
I think
they got
like,
fucked over or something.
what about the Killer Clowns one too?
Yeah, so it's all like a same sort of ilk, because you got Killer Clowns from Space, you had Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Friday the 13th, but I think with games like Dead by Daylight,
yeah,
it's been going for a lot longer, and that's got a lot more IPs in it. I think Dead by Daylight kind of swamped them all out the way.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because the other ones had a lot more, like, it was working with one singular IP, and they knew what they were doing. But when you've got Dead by Daylight, which has like the Xenomorph, it's got Voorhees, it's got all those characters in it, Freddy, it's just going to blow it out the water, because why would you want to play a game that has one character in it when you can play a game that has all of them
multiple in it? Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I liked I really enjoyed Evil Within.
Evil Within was a good game.
That was fucking dark as shit.
The weirdest thing is I can watch horror films. If you put the scariest horror film in front of me and I'm fine, put me in front of a horror game.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know what happens.
Yeah, it's a completely
my hands
different.
Tremble. I can't
exactly,
dude. I can't do it because I'm in control. It's not me watching someone else do something. I can watch someone play a horror 100%. Game, not a problem. You give me that control, and I'm like, nope, can't do it.
100%. I have to look away from the screen. It's the first time I look away from the screen. Like I'd never look away from the screen in a horror film, horror gaming. I'm like
yeah, dude. I remember playing one of the Alien games. I think it was either on
Isolation.
Isolation, or I think it was one of the ones that was like on PlayStation 2 at the time, or whatever it was. And it said when the game loaded up, and I still remember this, and the game said that this game is like suitable to play in the dark. And dude, it scared the shit out of me, bro.
I love it. Hey, you know what as well? VR, man. I love VR. Like I've got a VR here, but I played. Did you play the one on the roller coaster? I think it's called Rush of Blood. You ever played that one?
No.
It's like a ghost. Oh my god, it's incredible. It's like a ghost train roller coaster. It's all horror themed. And you have to shoot all this stuff. If you ever get a chance to play it, honestly, man, it blew my mind. It literally blew my mind. It's so good.
So like we have where I work, we have some of our games are VR, but we have games that we don't sell to. We have games that we don't sell to the public, that we just play when we want to play them.
Yeah.
And one of them is a horror game, like pure full horror. And I, as I said, put me in front of a horror game and give me a control. I cannot play a horror game. I shake. I'm like, I can't do it. Put me in a VR thing and make me actually move and do stuff. I think that's they've got it on camera. It's the only time that I've actually screamed. I dropped to the floor and I was screaming. It was
zombie games. Zombie games feel more realistic as well too.
I had to look away from the screen of Five Nights at Freddy's, man.
Oh god, yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's. I actually played that game once, man, and that fucking scared the shit out of me more than the movie.
It's when you know something's going to happen and you're waiting for it. But it's like weird that you mentioned about zombie stuff, because one of the things that I do is I work for a company called Zombie Infection. Nice. We do events all up and down like the UK, where we go to abandoned buildings, like abandoned factories, shopping centres, all that kind of stuff, and you put into like a 2-hour immersive story, but it's a zombie-based story. And the amount of people who come to that, where you're basically you meet these people who are survivors, and they give you a storyline or how it's going to work, and then for 2 hours you're chased by zombies and you have to shoot them. but they get back up. They don't get killed. They get back up after a few seconds.
Sounds awesome,
You
man.
have to move quick. And the amount of people who come to that and go, "Oh, I just expected it to be like paintball," but actually, it's like being in a video game because.
I'd love to do one of those, man. I've always wanted to do
definitely
one of those.
go and do one. I mean, they're more down south now. Like, so I think we've got one in Dover, 2 in Portsmouth. There was one in Yeovil, but I think that's gone. But we've got 2 in Nottingham and 1 in Sheffield.
Oh wow, they're not far. So Nottingham's not far from me, really. Oh, I need to do it. I need to do that.
So like the 2 in Nottingham, you've got one that's in the National Justice Museum, so that's like all in the dungeons underneath.
Whoa,
And
dude, really? That's going on right now?
Yeah, that's. I think the next one is on the 26th of this month.
I'm putting that on my phone right now.
Do it.
I need to fly over there right now.
Come and join us, Adam. Come and join us, dude.
I will. Yeah.
But it's actually the other Nottingham one is in Sherwood Forest. So you're in the middle of a forest in complete darkness. Yeah.
I need to do all of these, man. Zombie infection.
Zombieinfection.co.uk.
That's awesome, to stay on the zombie topic. Did you guys see 28 Years Later?
I haven't seen it yet.
So we weirdly linked into what I've just mentioned. We, as Zombie Infection, we tried to apply for it and get like put on it, but we didn't get it because I think we were a bit too late. But a couple of our actors have gone and done some of the premieres at some cinemas around the UK. So like when they've shown it at cinemas, we've gone and done it. But
that's cool.
Yeah, we saw it. I think the first 2 were better.
Yeah.
The first one's about. I haven't seen it yet, but I love the first one, man. It's so.
The second one was crazy,
iconic.
dude.
The
second one was just like the opening scene of the second one when that dude just bailed on that fucking family. I'm like, you dick.
I need to revisit the second one. I can't remember much about the second one, to be honest. I remember it being good, but I just loved the first one. Like when it came out, it was so different.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah, it changed the zombie apocalypse vibe a lot because like
they were like very realistic.
Very fast paced.
It was really realistic. Like when they use the block of flats, and they're up in the high rise flats, and they've got like the lights that they're twinkling to show that they're, humans kind of thing, and just like an SOS kind of thing. I don't know. And when they're chasing them up the stairwell in the flats, it's really like I can picture those environments and imagine that going on, and like when he's walking across the bridge at the beginning, and it's just all like desolate. I don't know. It was very realistic. Do you know what I mean? I thought so well done.
I think they did really well with like the scene setting in it, and I think as well because it was in the UK, it felt so much more familiar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So much more familiar, rather than I think a lot of zombie films were obviously produced in the US. Prime example, it was a series, The Walking Dead, was done in Atlanta, so obviously we're not familiar with that. But with it being London and it's right pretty much on our doorstep, it was like, oh god, I recognise that, and that made it feel a lot more real. But it's like with the block of flats thing, I think we don't do it anymore. But with the zombie thing, we used to have a block of flats as one of our
oh man, I would have loved to have done that. This sounds weird. I love high rises. It fascinates me for some reason.
It was just a full block, like pretty much like this one I'm stood out right now. This whole building like that, and it was one of them. But I think it was about 14 floors, and it was completely ours. And you just got chased through this whole, and you went up the whole time. So every time you went up through the floors.
Oh man, that sounds
incredible. You were chased up the stairs by this horde of zombies, and there's usually like 20 or 25 zombies chasing you.
Fuck, dude. Adam, have you seen Attack the Block?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay, cool. I was going to say that's the sort of vibe, the block of flats is if you've seen that. But sorry, Jay, carry on, man.
No, it's fine. I was just like saying it was it was intense because people recognised it from 28 weeks later or 28 days
cool.
later, and they remembered it from
Could
that.
you imagine if they filmed the first 2 movies in an iPhone? What they did with the third one?
What
It was
happened?
like the third movie was like shot like 28 years later was like shot with apparently was like shot with they shot some scenes with some iPhones.
Really?
Yeah, they used
Okay.
I've read into it too. They used 21 iPhones for some for scenes in the movie to
Oh,
make it
wow.
more realistic and to have that really like 180
That
360
like kind of
effect.
POV kind of thing.
We actually
Yeah.
we used an iPhone in Go to Hell as well. Actually, some of the shots in that, most of it is filmed on Blackmagic, but there's 1 or 2 shots where there's sort of that fluid movement that we ended up just doing it on the phone because you could get that, you could kind of glide into it, and you can shoot on iPhone in 4K. So
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure that's what the director was saying because he wants to make because everybody can film anything on their fucking phone and post
100%.
oh
it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah. So with technology that we have now is like amazing to shoot shit like that. But like when you
yeah,
see like the kill scenes in the third movie, like it'll have like that 4-second pause and like a little like 180 spin and shit, and it's fucking amazing. Like
I need to go and check it out,
really,
man.
I enjoyed it. It's definitely there's definitely gonna be a sequel after that. They just announced it. I think they'll be out. I think next year.
I think they've already made it.
Yeah,
I think it's
After
made.
28 years.
yeah,
Thing.
yeah.
I think the next bit is already made. I think Danny Boyle said he shot it already. It's already done.
Yeah.
28 decades later.
28, 28 million light years later. Fucking zombies in space.
Yeah. Oh, dude. We don't need another one of that, man. Like,
No.
Jason X was good, okay? Don't hate
I was about to say
Just about, man. Just about.
The
It's just
effects
possible.
the effects in that movie was fucking amazing. All right.
It wasn't terrible, to be fair. It was all right, actually.
No,
it wasn't. No. It wasn't a
but
terrible.
even Kane Hodder himself said the effects in that movie was good. So there you go.
Was that the one with the dry, not the dry ice, the fucking where you put it in the freezer? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's funny enough. That's literally the scene I was just thinking about. That particular scene.
Yeah. Well, let's get into like Ozzy Osbourne since we were talking about him earlier. Did you guys watch the stream, or did you see any clips or something like that from the
from the show?
Yeah,
I've seen a few clips afterwards. I've seen just the kind of clips that are circulating online. I'll be honest, I can't really sit and watch rock concert streams. I don't know why. I think I'm probably because I get FOMO because I'd rather be there.
yeah, I'm the same thing as well. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of clips, and yeah, man, it looks great. It's kind of what you'd expect from all those like legends, you know, and him himself. But I think it's great that it happened. I think it's it's really cool. It's a great thing for music to have all these bands. It be such a big event. It's the same with like Oasis, love them or hate them. They're back out there with their guitars and everyone's coming together through music again. It's actually it's good, man. It's good to see, especially here in the UK, because oh boy, there's some shit out there, dude. So it's nice to kind of have these, rock bands, because I'm a rock fan, I'm a metal fan, I'm a big,
same.
fan of bands and guitars. I can see that guitar on the bed behind you there. Is that an SG? Oh, it's a Les Paul. Okay.
LTD made by ESP Guitars. I put a Zackwell EMG 8185 pickups in these.
Oh yeah, nice, man. Zach's amazing, isn't he? He's the only guy that could have taken over from Dimebag.
The worst thing is the guitar on the bed behind you.
Randy Rhodes.
You, Dean.
What's that?
I said you would say about the guitar on the bed behind you. And I was looking behind you, Dean. I was like,
"Oh, sorry. Oh no, it was
I can just see a face in the corner, and that's about it."
In my office upstairs, I've got a string of guitars hung up on the wall in my office upstairs. So if we do this again, I'll have to do it from up there, and you can see I've got like a
100%
collection of guitars, man. Because my background's in music as well, so like I'm a yeah, I'm a guitarist.
Yeah, guitar nerd.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I know far bigger guitar nerds than me. I've got friends who play guitar who are incredible players, who are like into the latest pedal and this, that, and the other, and da da da. So I'm more of a kind of rootsy. I just love picking a guitar up, making a lot of noise. I guess I'm more of a punk and metal guy, not metal in a sort of shredding, sense. You listen to a lot of metal nowadays. It's all very technical, and it's all, all these like mad double bass drums. Like it's all sounds very computerized. I like Zeppelin. I like that real kind of like, earthy. I like an earthy feel. Early death metal bands like. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Very live feel. I like that kind of stuff. I love AC/DC, man. AC/DC, one of my favorites.
I'm a thrash guy, man. I grew up on.
Yeah, I love thrash too. I love thrash as well, 16. Man.
Yeah, but I see, like, to circle back to the horror stuff too. Alice Cooper is the one that got me into horror. It's kind of crazy to say that, but it's true. It's just like the theatrics, man. It gets you.
Oh, dude, I never finished my Alice Cooper story, did I? When I was saying about when I worked in Top Man, I'll finish that story very quickly. But basically, I was working in Top Man in Oxford Circus in the middle of the West End, right? And then bearing in mind, this place sells clothes to teenagers and kids, and it's a very hipster place. And we're in the middle of Oxford Circus, and then my friend, it's a big shop floor. My friend's like, "Yo, that's Alice Cooper over there." I was like, "There's no way Alice Cooper's coming into Top Man." And he's like, "No. He goes, he's been in before. Like, that's Alice Cooper." And I was like, "Yeah, get the fuck out of here." So I kind of, just in case it was Alice Cooper, I printed off a bit of till receipt and, took a pen over. And as I got closer to him, I was like, "It's Alice Cooper." Like, it was literally, he had a cap on, his ponytail was coming out the back, but you can't mistake that nose, man. You know what I mean? He's got that conch. And we weren't allowed to go over and approach celebrities. That was one of the things in our contract. Don't approach celebrities. You get a lot of celebrities in there. I was like, I don't give a shit. This is Alice Cooper. I'm going to go and say hello. So I kind of walked over and I was like, "Excuse me, are you Alice Cooper?" And he was just like, yes, I am. I was like, "Oh, dude, I'm so sorry to disturb you. Can you sign this?" And he signed the till receipt for me. And I was like, "Yo, what are you doing in Top Shop, man? What are you doing in Top, man?" And he's like, "I'm just over here playing a bit of golf and my daughter's in a play and, I'm just kind of mooching around." I was like, "Cool. All right, Alice Cooper, enjoy your day. If you need any help, come and find me." He was really nice, man. He was really
he is really
polite
nice,
and kind and just, like, chilled, very chilled guy, very approachable. I thought, yeah, it was nice.
I've met him once at a meet and greet. This is where Motley Crue finished the final tour. I was only there to see Alice, but because his meet and greet was on when Motley Crue was on, which is kind of cool.
Oh, why? Yeah, so you didn't have to listen to Vince Neil wailing.
No, not really. As soon as I heard "Shout the Devil," I had to go back downstairs. But I met Alice, and he was super cool. And I kept all my old tickets when I saw him in Wollongong and Sydney and shit like that. And I showed him my "School's Out" tattoo because that was the first album, the first guitar riff that I learnt on guitar, and my first tattoo. So I showed him, and he goes, "Oh." He was like telling me like stories behind the song and how they came up with the riff and the lyrics. And dude, I don't really remember, but I was just like,
what's going on right now?
Yeah, my
mesmerized
right now. Yeah, exactly. It's just like to hear that, I'm like, wow.
I know, man.
Had a photo with him, and yeah, that was it. But it was awesome, dude. He's such a nice guy, man. Such a nice
things guy. Like that always, like, when they're telling you he's like a legend. It's a legendary song, and you're hearing like it's so weird. Things like that really weird me out. I remember once, and this is slightly different, but I went to a restaurant in London that was Sticky Fingers, so it was run or owned by Bill Wyman from the Rolling Stones. I'm a big Rolling Stones fan, so like I went there for my birthday once, and it was just me and the person I was with at the time. And sitting down there, it's middle of the week, there's nobody else in there apart from one table with 4 people sitting there. And I was eating away and I was like, That's Bill Wyman. That's Bill Wyman. And I was listening to their conversation, and they're just casually chatting about Sting, Mick. They're just going, yeah, you know, because I was chatting to Mick the other day. Mick Jagger, they're talking about Mick fucking Jagger. Yeah, I was just, you know, chatting to Mick the other day, and he was, you know, said Bowie's blah, blah, blah. You know, Bowie was alive at the time. They're just casually chatting about all these people. I think one of them was slagging Sting off. And I was just like, I'm literally listening to like an inside conversation here with these people talking. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't know how that links with the Alice Cooper thing, but I think it's like when you kind of like when you listen,
when you meet your idols, really,
and they're talking about things that are just like, I don't know, real. Whereas to us, they're just like untouchable. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if that makes sense, but I kind of know what I mean. But yeah,
it's like that when I have guests on here as well, man. I had Caden from the band Hyrax, and he's like huge in the '80s.
Yeah,
And fucking like he was telling me stories that because Hyrax is a thrash metal band from California, I think it is, from the Bay Area, and
I don't know.
dude, he was telling me stories about fucking watching Metallica at a small club and watching them warming up before coming up on stage when Cliff Burton was still alive and stuff.
Oh
like
wow,
that. And he saw them
early days.
when Dave Mustaine
Was in there as well. Yeah,
Yeah, he was just telling me stories about that. It was
sort of Ride the Lightning era.
yeah, around he written songs for Ride the Lightning, I think.
Oh yeah.
But he was kicked out before Kill 'Em All. But
right.
he was also telling me stories that like back in the day, you know, we played at this club and it was me, Anthrax, Slayer, and Testament on the same bill, and I'm like, oh, shit. So
That's a pretty big.
To hear stories like that, but I'm like, I try not to fanboy out a little bit because, like, to me, they're just like a normal person, like you guys, just hanging out.
Yeah, of course.
It was just awesome, and like that's when I tell my friends all about this shit, and then and having like Chuck Garrick from Alice Cooper and Beasto Blanco, he was telling me stories about his time with Ronnie James Dio, and like Ronnie James Dio is like one of my favorite metal vocalists as well, and to hear his stories about him as well was like, you know, fucking amazing. So like to hear stuff like that, man, it's
yeah, man.
It's just awesome.
I'll give you a very quick Cool Iron Maiden story. I used to live in a place it's called Enfield. It's in North London. It's not far from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and there's a little part of Enfield called Grange Park. It's where I used to live. I used to rent. It was a house, nice house, and it was kind of converted into two. So you had an upstairs apartment, downstairs apartment, and I used to live in the downstairs apartment. And the guy that owned it, he owned these kind of businesses out the back. They were just like this little dirt path. It was all tucked away. One of them was a studio where bands would go and kind of like make videos. There was a big green screen in there. It was a big space. And he knocked on my door one day and he was like, "Oh, Dean, you like rock music, right?" I was like, "Yeah, man, I love rock music." He said, "Do you like Iron Maiden?" I said, "Yeah, I love Iron Maiden." And he's like, "They're going to be rehearsing in that space out the back there for the next 3 weeks." Ooh. So every day, so Dave Murray came walking over and it was like, "Hey, have you got a lighter, man?" So and then we sort of hit it off, and I was pretty much every day having a cigarette outside with Dave Murray, the guitarist, and I could hear Iron Maiden rehearsing. If I was at the back, the kitchen was at the back, so I could hear them rehearsing like muffled. If I was doing the washing the dishes, and I can hear just like, you know, like coming from the studio at the back. It's at the end of the garden. So yeah, Iron Maiden used to rehearse in my back garden. That's what I tell people. But yeah, they were there for like 3 weeks, man. We used to see them coming in and out, and they're really cool guys.
That's awesome.
No, it's awesome. That's friggin' awesome, dude. Well, dude, let's finish up with top 5 horror films. So Jay, I'll start with you, my friend.
Top 5. So not in any particular order, but I'd have to go with just because it was the first one I ever watched, was the original Hellraiser. I'm a bit of a sucker for the Saw films, so I have to say, I think my favourite is Saw 2.
Yeah.
Great film.
So, I agree, yeah. That's what got me into Saw. So there you
go. The It film, but the original one with Tim Curry.
Brilliant film.
because I think Tim Curry's an absolute legend. And I think he played that character so well, but in a comedic way that was still creepy, which is kind of hard to do.
Hey, we very quickly, we were talking about this film on the last podcast I just did before this one, and we were talking about that film, and I pointed out to those guys the score for that movie as well.
100%. Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean,
it makes it, as well as Tim Curry's performance and everything else that's going on. Like the score, if you listen to the soundtrack, it's really creepy on its own.
But it's like I'm like yourselves. I love music, but I love quite atmospheric music. So, like for example, with the Saw films, the guy who did a lot of the music for that also did the music for things like Dead Silence. Charlie Clouser did a lot of the music for them. Phenomenal horror music artist. Love it.
Cool.
So yeah, I love the Alien films. Would you class that as horror or sci-fi?
Sci-fi horror. Yeah, because horror is like metal. It's like different genres. So there you go.
Yeah, so the Alien films, but more specifically, the first one, I think it just set the scene for everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I've got an affinity, and it sits in my head, and it's one of those ones that I can watch and I always enjoy. But the original House of Wax.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that the Vincent Price one? No, hang on. I'm thinking of House of... Is it Vincent Price?
House of Wax. Yeah.
Am I thinking of House on... I don't know. Ignore me. I'm thinking of House on Haunted Hill.
I'll have a look for you. Maybe it's the second.
You might be right.
What year was that one? 53?
The original one. It was very early, yeah.
I haven't watched that. I need to watch that one. That's an interesting pick, man.
Yeah.
I think just because it's like...
I remember watching the reboot.
Yeah, with Paris Hilton.
Yeah, but she gets...
And all the T-shirts that came out, Die Paris, Die.
Yeah. Now, Vincent Price was the cast in the original.
Oh, he wasn't. Okay, I'm thinking of House on Haunted Hill.
The director was Andre D something, D Toth or whatever his name is. So yeah, Vincent Price was in this movie, on the original, and it's rated PG. So there you go.
I need to check that out.
Yeah. So that's his top. What's your top 5, Dean?
Oh man. My favorite film of all time is probably the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I just love that film. I think it's timeless. The imagination behind it. Wes Craven was just a genius. And also, I'd say that in line with that, it's probably the film I've watched the most out of any film ever, is James Cameron's Aliens. I know you said you like the first one. The second one for me, the Cameron's Aliens. I can't believe that was shot in 1986, man. It look, it's just completely timeless. Absolutely love it. So Nightmare on Elm Street, Aliens, House of a Thousand Corpses, Rob Zombie. That's my comfort. That's my comfort movie. I love that film. There's nothing like it.
That should be a musical someday. Man.
Oh God, there's nothing like that film, man. It's just great. So colorful and batshit, and then you can tell like there's a lot of props from his house. It's a complete labor of love, and Sid Haig's character in it. It's just so good. Ooh, and then what else? I probably have to echo it as well, dude. Like, I mean, I'm trying to think. There's so many. It, the original one, is I'm a huge fan of that. Oh God, what else? What else? I'm going to turn around and look at my collection and hope something.
You're not the only one that's done that on here before, man.
Oh, it's going to be one of them things where, after this, I'm going to be like, oh God, why didn't I think of that? Or why didn't I say that? There's just so many, man. There's so many films. I just, I don't know.
How about this? How about this one? Go to Hell.
Oh yeah, that piece of trash. I'm just trying to think of films that I always constantly revisit no matter what, and all the ones I've just said, definitely, yeah, for sure. I don't know, man.
Can I put a bonus one in that's just popped into my head?
Yeah.
Event Horizon.
Great film. Really good film. I love, and I don't know if this is horror, but it's definitely got horror elements, and this is completely out there, but like Apocalypto, directed by Mel Gibson. I don't know if you've ever seen that film, but it's fucking amazing. Have you not seen it? Oh my god, check it out, dude. Honestly, it's not what you think. I mean, it's this. Have you seen The Green Inferno? Eli Roth.
Clips.
Oh, dude, check that out as well. That's gross. Don't be eating any dinner around that time because you won't be able to eat it. It's gross. That's how much it gross.
That was like one of his first films too, wasn't it?
That was Eli. Well, that was Eli Roth. Green Inferno. I can't remember. It's probably a few years back now. But anyway, yeah, the Apocalypso is kind of similar, not gory, but it's more of it's like a tribe. Oh man, I'm really bad at explaining stuff like this, but honestly, check it out, man. It's just fantastic. Apocalypto, really good film. Definitely a lot of horror elements in there.
Yeah,
nice. It's such a good film. Yeah.
Man, they're good picks, man. Like I always like sharing my top fives because they.
Yeah, what's yours, dude?
All right, I'll go with Devil's Rejects because that movie is just like it's got bit of comedy in it too, though. But it's funny, it's dirty, it's fucking disgusting. It's like just really fucked up. House of a Thousand Corpses. I really enjoyed the reboot of Rob Zombie's Halloween. I don't really care what anyone says about that one because
I enjoyed
the whole backstory towards that film is we needed it in the Halloween franchise, to be honest. I really enjoyed the first Saw film. The first Saw film was more like a psychological horror. Yeah. More than then it went into like torture porn slasher style after the second one. Then the third one, I'll probably go with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and number 5 probably go with House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big fan of Rob Zombie's films, man. So I don't.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. You know, actually, there's a funny little story for you as well. I'm full of these funny little stories. So I made a hot sauce for Spider-1, which is Rob's brother.
Oh, nice. I've been trying to get him on as well.
Oh, reach out to him. He's great. He's really nice. Yeah. He'll come on and do it. Yeah, he's nice, Spider. He's a really nice guy. So once we kind of hit it off over the hot sauce thing, like, you know, we were chatting back and forth, and the lead in our film, my film, Go to Hell, his name's Robert Cummins, and that's Rob Zombie's real name in real life.
Yeah.
And it's all over the certificate. So I sent the film to Spider. I sent him a link because, you know, he loves stuff like this. He loves, like, you know, people picking up a camera and just making films. And I sent it to him, and he was watching it, and I was just like, fuck, he's going to see like his brother's name kind of written in all these. I wonder if he's going to think, oh, this dude's weird, man, like he's, you know, stalking us or something. But he got back to me and he really liked the film, and he literally didn't even pick up on it. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, Rob Zombie's brother has watched the film and he liked it. He approved. So that was cool.
Yeah, I'll try and reach out to him. I'm pretty sure I think he might go through his contacts or something like that on his Instagram.
Just reach out to him through Instagram, man. He runs his own page. Yeah, and obviously if he's touring, you know, he generally gets back to people. He's really cool guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if he's got a movie coming out as well or something like that, then you're definitely likely to be able to get him on, because I know he likes promoting everything he does.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has a movie coming out, or it might be. I think it is out or something like that.
Little Bites was out recently, and that's on Shudder. But he's probably working on something else.
Oh, even if you can reach out to him or something like that, let me know if you could.
Yeah, man.
Or I can try as well. Well, look, dude, thank you for coming on. I know it's late, and I know Jay wants to go home because he's like still wandering out.
Oh, bless Jay, man. Jay's a trooper.
Man. Yeah,
no, it's fine. I've not been stabbed yet. I'm okay.
Yeah, like it kind of feels like we're watching you in survival mode right now, trying to escape from a zombie.
Rebound.
What's
going on?
Yeah,
I quite liked it. It's good. It's good.
Dude, behind you.
Yeah.
That's why I keep looking
Jay.
behind me, because I keep seeing things and I'm like, what's that?
No, Adam, thanks for having us on as well, man.
Anytime, dude.
Thank you for taking the time out to watch the show, and for being interested in it, and for having us on as well. And it's great to. That's what I love about this as well, is you can connect with people like all the way on the other side of the world, and we've all got common interests, and we've made a new friend, man. So it's great.
Yeah. And Jay, thanks for coming on, dude. This
Not a problem.
has to be like the most
pleasure.
tattooed podcast that I've had so far, because like everyone in this room right now is like covered in tattoos.
I mean,
Jay's
I
got
know what you mean.
Take your hat off, Jay.
I saw that.
Hang on.
Yeah, man, he's got some sick stuff going on there.
Nice. Yeah, I got the Jason tattoos.
Nice.
And my
The thing is, I did that and a car went past and I just looked really weird.
Got
Yeah.
little Karloff in there. Can't see him, Karloff.
Yeah. I actually want to get a Freddy Krueger tattoo, and it says and then have on the bottom it will say Dreamweaver.
Nice. Nice. I might get I've got all this space to fill here, so I'm thinking of getting a Kruger in there and maybe a Xenomorph or something. But I quite like the "Welcome to Prime Time, bitch." That's one of my favorite sounds. Really.
Yeah, get it.
Or get the Captain Spaulding tattoo. It says "Tutti Frutti, motherfucker."
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
And most of all, fuck you.
Fuck you. Yeah, that was the best opening scene ever.
It's brilliant. Yeah.
Jay, Dean, thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
You everywhere on social media,
Not a problem.
Facebook, Instagram. You got your own website out, which I put everything on, all the links in the description. They can also buy merch from you, which will buy at some point as well.
Well, I'll have to send you. Because we're only at the minute we only ship in the UK. I'm trying to figure out, and my website needs some updating, and I'm trying to figure out to send it overseas.
I'm just going to say quickly, I've got literally 1% on my phone, so if I cut off and vanish, I'm not ignoring you. My phone's just died.
No worries, Jay.
I'll let you go, dude, and I'll put all your social links in there as well. Okay.
Awesome. It's been amazing. Thank you so much.
Nice one, Jay.
Buddy.
No
Keep in
worries.
touch.
Take it easy, man. Get home safe, dude.
I will. I'll try.
See you later. Oh.
Yep. See, it's like a zombie apocalypse right there.
I was enjoying watching that background as.
But I love collecting t-shirts.
Oh yeah, I've got. Man,
I love collecting t-shirts. So there you go.
Yeah, I'll try and get you something over. It's I don't know how easy it is to ship to Australia. I feel like I don't know. I'll look into it. Yeah, I'll sort you something out, man.
Yeah, I can just send you my details or something like that.
Yeah, man, dude. I've got a new. I've got a new design coming out pretty soon, so maybe hold fire until you see that, because I think you might like this one. It's pretty good. But I dropped a new one today, and then I'm dropping a new one shortly, which is sick, man. And the guy that designed this new one has just designed all of Metallica's tour t-shirts.
Yeah, I want to do some I do have like a merch store, but it's on Teespring. But they make it and then they send it out themselves. But I want to try and like make the printout like maybe a little more better and stuff, like with like t-shirts like this and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a cool shirt, man.
I've seen them live and I met them as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I got the poster just up there.
Nice, man.
But like I would just like to like maybe just trying to find and work with somebody to help with like designs or something, or maybe you can give me some really cool tips and ideas or something like that. That'd be cool.
Oh, you froze then? Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, I know some really great artists. I think that's one of the good things about having work the sort of Comic-Con circuit and the HorrorCon circuit is you meet a lot of really good artists, Be more than happy to share some of the details with you, dude. They're always looking for commission. They take commissions, you obviously get what you pay for. So you can look on Fiverr. There's some good artists on Fiverr. I don't know if you come across the app Fiverr. Have you heard of Fiverr?
I've heard of it. I haven't really looked into it though.
All right, check it out, man. So go on Fiverr, take a look. It's Fiverr with 2 R's, so Fiverr. Have a little look go into the search bar, type in I don't know, horror artists or whatever. Just think of whatever keyword, and then you'll just get lists of different artists. You can go through all their work, and then it tells you how much they charge. Honestly, dude, it's brilliant, really good. But then I've met a lot of people on my travels who that's who I'll kind of work with, because they're like friends and artists. So we just kind of keep it all in the family kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, there's some fantastic artists out there, and I'd definitely be happy to put a few names your way if you're looking for some cool designs.
Yeah, man. Well, hopefully we'll cross paths. And dude, again, thank you very much. We'll keep in touch. And
Yeah, absolutely, Adam.
Dude, the door's always open for you to come back on. And if you have another short film or whatever, or if there's anything,
yeah, man,
like, come on, like promote and come on and stuff like that. Just
thanks, man. I appreciate that, dude. Yeah,
we'll sort something out, man.
Yeah. Vice versa, man. And when I get the Dead Shed up and running, you can come and do some stuff on that too, man.
Yeah, man.
You're up for it?
For sure. I would love to collab with people, man, and give out some ideas and shit. For sure.
Yeah, definitely. And we've got this short's currently going to be hopefully doing the festival circuit, and then from there we're working on the promo for Cannibal. Then we're going to do another short, and then I'm looking at doing a feature. So there's always going to be stuff to kind of come on and chat about, whenever, man. So yeah, like you say, stay in touch and let's do this again.
Yeah, man. And I'll send you my details and shit like that.
Yeah, no worries, man. I'll hook you up. Wait until you see this new design. Yeah, I think you're gonna dig it. It's very metal. It's very horror. It's cool. It's inspired. So I sent the designer the mood board images. Was the cover from the film Intruder? I don't know if you've seen Intruder. If you know the cover, It's got Ted Raimi. Yeah, so that, plus a couple of Butchered at Birth, Cannibal Corpse, Autopsy, a couple of their album covers, an Obituary album cover. So I sent him all these images and said, dude, do something like this, but this is the idea. And he's come up with something that looks sick, man. He's just coloring it at the minute. So yeah, wait till that drops, because I feel like you might want one of those.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Dean, thank you so much.
No worries, Adam.
Until
Thank you, man.
next time, everybody. Catch you all later. Boom.
Take care, man.
You too.